Saturdays at Cripple Children's. Saturdays were kind of different because a lot more optional things to do or not do. For example, you didn't necessarily have to have breakfast if you were one of the, junior high or above. Although I generally did get up early enough for it. One of the reasons for that was because most often on Saturdays we had open swimming in the morning. That was assuming that there was a volunteer lifeguard available, and generally there were, and I feel bad in a way that I never said thank you to those people because they certainly made a difference to me. Swimming has always been one of the things that I really enjoyed doing, and the swimming pool at Lifescape, or Cripple Children's then, the same pool, heated pool, therapeutic, nice warm pool. It's heated to a point of like a warm bath. And honestly, there were times on Saturday mornings when I would just lay there and nap in the pool, laying on my back. I learned to swim very early, and I can pretty much float any time for any length of time. And I honestly did fall asleep more than once in the swimming pool on Saturday mornings. Other things that happened on Saturday, as we got a little bit older, there were a couple TV shows that were on. American Bandstand was a really big hit with us. They moved it around, and the local stations had it on at different times and stuff like that. And so often it ended up being on during the noon hour during our lunchtime. And the rule was we never normally had the TV on during noon. And I remember that we would badger and beg and cajole the nurse in charge, who really was the last word on saying, yes, we could have the TV on, or no, we couldn't have the TV on. And probably a good 75% of the time we actually managed to talk her into letting us watch American Bandstand. And it was one of those things that we really enjoyed, and not everybody got into it and stuff, but for the most part. Another show that was often on Saturdays in that same kind of time frame was the old Monkees show, which it's one of those, if you've ever seen it, it's a very campy type show. It's kind of stupid in a lot of ways, but it was fun and an enjoyable show. And speaking of American Bandstand, more than once, one of the things that we would do, and quite often on Saturday afternoons, there were a couple record players around, and kids had records and stuff, and once in a while I even had some. And I can always remember air guitaring to, in particular, the one that always comes to my mind is "Oh Pretty Woman" by Roy Orbison. And we'd be sitting there, and one of the neat things about crutches is they really add to the air guitar experience. You can take your crutch and use it as an air guitar, and it can be quite it's one of those more fun things to do, I guess, with them. And I guess it's better than sometimes when we use them as machine guns or something like that. It's probably better using it as an air guitar. So, Saturdays were generally fairly relaxed, and of course there were other times we would maybe go someplace or go for a ride or something like that. But generally the things that really stick out to me were the swimming in the morning, getting up early to go swimming, and then trying to get the nurse to allow us to watch American Bandstand over noon, and the Monkees, of course, and then air guitaring to whatever songs happened to be popular at the time.